Hey guys, welcome to the show tonight. Let me get Jason on and we will start talking. Ooh, shit. You know, this takes me a minute. There you go. All right. We will wait for him to jump on. All right, let me see if I got him. Hey guys. Okay, there we go. We will bring him on. I wanted to talk. Hi, babe.
Hello, beautiful.
You're kind of blurry. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You can? Okay. So last week we had talked about just your military career, a little bit of the retirement and that kind of stuff. But I wanted to come on tonight to talk about just the wars and that kind of stuff that we have not seen during the Trump administration. So I know we were supposed to go to court, not court, oh my gosh, to war in North Korea and Iraq. So is there anything that you can kind of contribute to that as far as military wise as a soldier?
sure. Well, we did send troops to Iraq, but it was just a small contingent. It was mainly SOCOM, Special Forces, the Ranger Battalion, our Tier 1 assets. And they were over there helping the Kurdish, and they were getting rid of basically ISIS, who had a stronghold in Syria. And they had unfortunately come over, taken the town of Mosul, and took a lot of the villages and bases that I was actually at during my 2006-2007 deployment. So we do still have soldiers over in Iraq, not a lot, but we're actually doing what we should have done a long time ago and assisting the Iraqi government and the Kurds and getting rid of just terrorists, not looking to stay there indefinitely like we did last time. Now, North Korea, yeah, all of us that were following the news, it did look a little hairy for a while they were doing all those missile tests. And little man over there was talking all that shit. And as we found out, we now have a president that doesn't talk shit and
Yeah.
backed it up. And we went from possibly being on the verge of going to North Korea to our president going to North Korea, the first president that's done so, and worked out a peace treaty and de-escalated it.
Yeah, completely. But I feel like the Democrats are saying like Trump's doing this and Trump's putting us at war and Trump's, not actually reporting into the news that he is helping and he hasn't started wars and that kind of thing. If anything, the wars are actually among the people now. There's a race war, there's this division, we have so many movements, and I do think that he wants law and order. He said it countless times, but I don't know. I don't know if there's, I guess, a possibility that there could be this civil war, and I have seen that Trump, did he stop. Are you talking to Graceland?
No, I just looked at her, but I can't see her because I have my glasses on.
Oh, our daughter's home, so that's why I knew when he was talking off to the side. But I don't remember where I was going with that. But I think our wars are now in our streets, and I think once it gets time closer to the election, I think it's going to spin off worse.
Well, what you were talking about, asking about a civil war, I mean, is it possible? Sure.
Yeah. What does that entail?
Well, like our original Civil War, that's where we were truly at war with the North and the South, the Confederates and the other guys. Sorry, but I don't think it would actually come to that where we're full blown like Georgia against Alabama and stuff like that. You're gonna have, I think, as a whole, the majority of the country is tired of all the dumb shit, regardless of the race.
Yeah.
It's like we were talking the other night. I mean, anywhere I've gone, I don't the same amount of respect and politeness is given from people of all races.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm out, I'm out in public everywhere, and I give it right back to them. It's no
Mm-hmm.
different. And if you act like an asshole, then sure, I'll go ahead and act like an asshole.
Yeah.
But
Dale Hazel is on, and he said the union.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of a scary time because there's so many movements that I think have a brilliant name. I think it would be a great movement, but what they are showing and that kind of stuff, it's, actions speak louder than words. And I know I guess they're what is the movement's little saying or whatever. I just think it sounds good, but again, what I'm seeing in the streets and what I'm seeing happen is wrong. And I just don't think I'm actually talking about the BLM movement. So, I just think I think it's ran by the wrong person who orchestrates this kind of stuff within our streets. And I think that's what I guess I'm scared of, is it spinning off into this big civil war. And, what would happen, say, yes, Dale said they're all idiots. Yes, they are. But I mean, like, I wish the movement was for Black Americans, and I wish the movement actually did back, the community, and I just don't think that it does. And then they hide behind this umbrella, of the movement, and I don't know. I just it pulls at my heartstrings because I guess I think it's wrong. It's not going towards the Black Americans. It's not.
No.
It's padding other people's pockets, and I think it's misleading, super misleading. Black lives matter only matter when it matters to us first. Yes, yeah, I get that. I get that.
Well, I agree. The movement itself, Black Lives Matter, yes, it was started for very good reasons. I mean, yes, there are issues. We've all seen the news, and I'm not dumping on cops because, like we've talked about, every profession, cops, military, linemen,
Mm-hmm.
attorneys, what have you, you have great guys and girls that do what they're supposed to do, and then you have pieces of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm not a cop, never have been, couldn't be one, to be honest with you. I'm too quick tempered, obviously. But you know, just from what I see, if you are an armed officer and you have multiple assets available, less than lethal tasers, your good old damn left and right hand. I mean, if a dude's unarmed, I just don't think your best option is to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, now when you get into legally, if they go for your gun, if they do something, are you then legally allowed to take their life? If the circumstances fit, yes, you are, but should you? Just because you can, should you? And a lot of times, we don't see things happen to the officers, which happen to be white. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, a lot of people bring up black on black crime. Yes, there's
Mm-hmm.
black on black crime. There's white on white crime. There's Asian on Asian crime. Um, but I also get that that's not really the point because typically, and again, obviously, I am not a black American, but if a black person kills another black person, generally they're caught, they go to jail, and they spend life in prison. You know, what we're seeing is a lot of times there's law enforcement um, who happen to be white that are shooting and killing an unarmed black man, and we're not seeing them go to jail. So,
Mm-hmm.
as a community, I can absolutely see why
Mm-hmm.
they're pissed off.
They're
And
pissed.
the Black Lives Matter movement, great name, great message,
Mm-hmm.
but like you said, it's been turned into something I think the original creators did not plan for it. They're trying to bring attention, change the narrative, change the shit that's happening, stop getting shot when they're not friggin' when they're unarmed. I get that. But now you got other people running it, burning down cities. I mean, you're not going to accomplish anything burning down cities,
Yeah,
stealing stuff from.
burning down American businesses. And when I say that, I'm talking about the little guy,
Mm-hmm.
not the big corporations that will eventually get a bailout and then, be able to kick back and
But
do
do
their
I think
business again.
do I think it'll ever come to a civil war? No, because I just believe there's too many people, black, white, Asian, every nationality
Everybody is sick of
that
this shit.
that is not. We'll all band together and take care of the
Hmm.
problem. Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if I lived in Portland, my
Yeah.
ass, my ass, a long range rifle and a silencer. I mean,
Oh, babe.
you just can't let that shit go on. I mean,
I
think about
know.
it. You know,
I know. I
what do you
know.
think? It wouldn't matter if somebody came to our neighborhood and started rioting in our neighborhood. I wouldn't care what their race is.
No, you're
You
protecting your
know,
own.
if
You
somebody went
know,
to Dale's neighborhood, you
Dale's
know,
gonna pull it out,
yeah, it
turn it
don't matter.
left.
He ain't gonna give a damn what their race is, what their gender
Hmm.
is. If you're there to endanger their family or their
That's
property,
it. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, like, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, let's just get back to normal life and normal life. And I totally get that. But I also think that we need to be more aware of ourselves within our consciousness as to, like, what we are doing to help or hurt the problem, you know, because like I've always said, in the end, this is our freedom. Like, they really are throwing down to censors and really
Hmm.
are, you know, buckling in and trying to put fear into us. And I just think it's wrong. I think it's wrong to, you know, set fear into somebody and then just kind of sit back and watch everybody scramble. You know,
Well,
I think it's
it's
wrong.
your freedoms and your liberties are taken a little bit at a time,
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
almost to the
that's what they're
point where
doing.
most people don't realize it's happening. You know, you're not going to be able to come in and just like swoop, take everybody's guns, lock a city down, and change something overnight. It's almost like, you know, if you're going on a new diet, you make small
Mhm.
little changes so your body can adjust.
Mhm.
So, you know, hey, you got to wear a mask. Oh, there's your first thing. You know, I just believe in individual rights. If people out there want to wear a mask, absolutely let them. They're more
Absolutely
than
let
welcome
them.
to. I
But again, I think, hold on, I'm sorry. But then again, I think that, don't put this fear into me. Tell me to wear a mask. That's not even going to help me. You know, it's like, I just think that's wrong. Like, you know, you're telling somebody, you know, you could die from this when actually you can't. I mean, I guess you can, but the percentage is low. But what I'm saying is, you're lying to them, telling them to put them something on their face that actually isn't going to help them anyway, because it can go through. The whole mask thing.
Well, it's like we saw that documentary. I believe it was yesterday. You know, approximately they estimated the numbers are reporting 190,000 Americans died from COVID. Well, then they actually have come back and said only 6% of those actually died from COVID.
Yeah,
All,
that's what
all,
I'm
all,
talking about.
all the other 94% had underlying other conditions. So,
Hmm.
right from the get go, the government's been dishonest with the numbers.
Hmm.
I mean,
The CDC, and they go
the
back and forth. You know, oh, you don't need the mask. Then you need the mask. Oh no, you don't need the mask. You know,
so
then
so out of the 190,000, approximately 11,400 people actually died of COVID. Now, don't get me wrong, that's still
yeah.
11,400 people, which is unfortunate, but I believe we have that many or more of a year that still die of the normal flu.
Hmm.
You know, we're not scared of the flu. People aren't running around with masks, staying 6 feet apart, not going places because of the flu.
Yeah.
You know, this is a timely pandemic to try to disrupt our country, disrupt our
Hmm.
economy, disrupt our election. You know, I hate that people have died from it,
Hmm.
but you also have a lot of people that just are not going to be, that aren't scared. They're realizing what it is. And again, it comes down to individual rights. I
Hmm.
accept the risk of not wearing a mask.
Hmm.
You know, you and I, we've been places, we very rarely put one on. And we often walk right past the sign that says, you must have a mask to
Put
enter
your
here.
mask on. Not
You
this
know,
girl.
it's not that I'm, you know, I'm trying to be confrontational or anything. It's I don't want to.
Mm-mm.
I don't need that. You know, if
Hmm.
now, you know, when I go back to work, the George Power, I'm now back in my employee role.
Do
So
you have to wear one?
If Georgia Power tells me to wear one, then
Hmm.
I obviously need to. Just like, you know,
Let's get you a Trump one.
people at work can't. people that work at Walmart, if you work somewhere and your employer mandates you have to wear one, well, you kind of don't have a choice then. You're there as your employee.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
different.
I get it. I do get
Yeah.
it, but I just think it needs to trickle down to some of the smaller businesses and that kind of stuff, even the salons. I think that's ridiculous.
Well,
Nothing
yeah.
against the salons at all, because even with the stylist that she like just slandered the hell out of her, she's getting death threats and stuff like that, and I'm like, you're the one that did that. You did that.
Oh, are you talking about the one that did Pelosi's hair?
Pelosi. Yes. Dale Hazel said it's the China virus from China.
The China virus.
China.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
I think they're
Pelosi shot herself in the foot, though.
so bad. Well, she did that in Chinatown too. She
I
was
mean,
dancing around in Chinatown right when the virus kicked off. Like, hey,
again,
nothing's wrong.
there's nothing wrong, and I feel like all y'all should be able to go get your hair done and everything like you used to do all the time.
Without a mask.
Um,
It's not good.
she just shot herself in the foot because she's trying to mandate all these rules for everybody else, and she didn't
And
follow
not
them
her.
herself.
Yep.
I mean, and
Yep.
so she haven't really heard much out of her since then.
No.
No.
No. And to top it off, she's third in line to hit the nuke button. Like, do we want that? That's scary.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Right? Oh, alcoholic ass. So and as far as like movements and stuff like that, I just feel like, the QAnon movement's kind of getting backlash. And I know that like I've seen flyers, I guess, saying that like if you're gonna riot or whatnot, to wear Trump stuff, so it makes it look like it's Trump. But the QAnon movement, it's basically, it wants you to think on your own. It wants you to do the research. So they'll give you a hint, and then you go and find your research, and then it gives you another hint, and then it goes on from there until you're down this rabbit hole at like 2 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, wow, where has the time gone? But I do think that the QAnon movement is to open people's eyes and to wake up and to think on your own and stop almost living through somebody else. Like, figure this stuff out on your own. Find the truth. Be a truth seeker, and but I do think that it is compiled with military people and that kind of stuff. So that's why I kind of wanted you on tonight, because I wanted you to explain that, because I don't know the military kind of stuff, and I know how it can get deep into the special forces and that kind of stuff. So take it away.
I'll explain as best I can, or as best I think. First off, yes, you're right. The QAnon movement is pretty big. Most people have heard of it now.
It's huge.
I'll be honest with everybody listening. Like I've told you, I don't believe everything about it.
Unfriend.
However, I also don't believe in a lot of coincidences, and there's just too many coincidences, too many little things that I have seen outside of a particular YouTuber or blogger or something actually in society that is real similar to what they're saying is taking place. So I do believe there is a lot of things behind the scenes that are taking place. I just don't buy into every single thing. I'm not as hook, line, and sinker as you are.
Negative Nancy.
No. But as far as the military goes, now it's not going to be the soldiers, if you will, that are doing these operations, helping find and save the children and all those things, which you have
we need to get louder.
You have seen kids getting rescued in various states. You just don't see a whole lot of details about it in the regular news.
Of course.
But it's not your normal soldiers. It's not like your U.S. Army guys. This is going to be stuff that's deniable. Also, traditional active duty soldiers cannot operate on U.S. soil. They can train, but they can't actually run missions on soil on the U.S.
What's that mean? I'm lost.
Like your active duty soldiers can't go and conduct raids and kill people within the borders of the U.S.
So who does it?
Well, you got National Guard. That's
Okay.
different. But then you also have the FBI, CIA. All the three-letter agencies have their own
Forces.
special tactical units.
Okay.
And then there's the whole Black Ops.
Mm-hmm.
You know, our government has a black budget. Those are, and it's huge. Probably I couldn't even begin to tell you how big the budget is. But that's for everything that is off the books that
Mm-hmm.
the American people don't need to know about that takes place.
Mm-hmm.
That's the money that goes towards these type operations, and they probably use a lot of contractors, guys who, if something were to happen to them, you know, you don't know who they are, the family doesn't hear about them. You know, they're black ops off the books.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
That's interesting. Now, do you like the whole Gitmo thing? Do you think that that's plausible? Do you think that a lot of the celebrities and that kind of stuff are there? Is that why? Hold on, I have such a long question. So do you think that's why Trump kind of refurbished Gitmo for this particular thing, like military takedown, so that they can take the celebrities and everything to Gitmo? Did you get that?
I did.
Okay.
Is it plausible?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Sure.
Okay. Do you think they're over there?
I have no idea.
I need you to find that out.
Granted, a lot of them you've heard a lot less from
Mm-hmm.
on social media
Yeah.
and on TV, so that is a bit odd. Do I think they're all at Guantanamo Bay? I don't know.
I don't think all of them are per se, because I do think some are still on house arrest.
I could see that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, a lot of them are probably trying to cut deals
Mm-hmm.
to save their ass or their
Mm-hmm.
name or their reputation. There is some shit going on. There might be some at Gitmo. Gitmo might be the ones where maybe the higher ups.
The flight risks? Well, no, because Oprah's on house arrest. Well, I mean, I don't know where she is in the whole pyramid, but
Yeah. You know.
Dale Hazel said no. I don't think so. Where do you think they're at, Dale? I don't know. I think they're starting, those dominoes and that kind of stuff are starting to fall.
Well,
Again, I
just
don't
like
think we're going to hear about it.
no,
A lot of it.
And just like we have, you know, black ops, there's also things called black sites.
What is that?
Those are locations that very secret departments within agencies know of, where they can take people and keep them there with nobody knowing.
Is it underground?
Might be.
Because I know a lot of like the tunnels and that kind of stuff. They've
You
been
know,
taking out the tunnels underneath, and that's why we've had a lot of earthquakes in like odd areas. You know?
I hadn't heard that, but I could see that.
I've heard it.
I know.
I'm knees deep into the hole.
Oh, you're past knees.
Waist. I mean, what do you think the overall mission, I guess, of the Q is? Obviously, to create awareness, create, you know, I guess a thought for you to think on your own. You know, just to start to do the research for your own. I think so many of us have, and I've fallen victim to it myself. But I think so many of us depend on somebody else's opinion or get lazy to listening to one certain, you know, broadcast or what have you, because everybody's going to have their favorite, whether it be Fox or CNN or whoever you're listening to, whoever. But I do think you need to like look outside of that particular media broadcast, because they do have their own agenda, you know, and they're gonna, you know, obviously stay within that, you know, narrative of what they want. You know, do you think that too?
Um, do I think normally everybody has stayed in the same routine and gets their information from the wrong news source? Absolutely. As far as what do I think the ultimate goal of the Q movement is, from what I've seen and learned from you, especially, I think it's to shine a light on all the shadiness that's within our government.
Mm-hmm.
There's always going to be a lot of things within our government we don't know. We don't need to know everything. That's not our job. But yes,
But a lot of us we've already hated the higher taxes, and we've already hated all this kind of stuff, and we knew that kids were being, like kidnapped, obviously, because we'd hear about it or what have you. But then it's like, but then now, oh, we can't stand for the kids or we can't do the, and or we're okay with higher taxes. And I'm like, you were bitching about it a couple years ago. Now I don't, go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, most everyday normal people don't concern themselves with things going on in the world or the country or even the state if it doesn't
You
directly
should.
impact them. Well, I think a lot more people are now,
Mm-hmm.
but before it was kind of, hey, get up, go to work, pay your bills, drink, party, play with kids, your normal everyday routine. I
Mm-hmm.
do think part of the pandemic that might have backfired on the Democrats and everybody else is that all that free time at home, people were bored.
Mm-hmm.
And so they got online and started looking around and reading, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot more people are better informed.
Waking up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a lack of knowledge too, obviously, just a lack of knowledge, something that you haven't really heard of, but don't just push it away, like at least acknowledge it, look into it, I don't know. For me, I guess I would want to know both sides of a story. Like I would want to know both sides of a candidate. I wouldn't depend on somebody else's opinion to tell me about this person, I would look into it. And I just feel like some people have, and they have started to wake up. Like there's a whole, like, talk about movements. There's a whole walkaway movement. That's amazing. Democrats going, oh my God, actually, they haven't done anything for us. That kind of thing, starting to realize the world around them. And I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. Because once we all rise, like, I don't know. I think some movements are great, and then I think some have just really bad intentions and a great name.
Yeah, and I also try to keep in mind too, like, I haven't suffered per se, like some people may have, that are out there protesting or standing up for injustice, in the way that they feel like they are.
Mm-hmm.
I do keep that in mind. We're financially comfortable, we have good jobs, careers, so I always try to keep that in perspective, like I'm not in that person's shoes.
Mm-hmm.
So, but at the same time, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but it is mine. So if you don't like it, it doesn't matter. If you were born after pretty much 1980, your ass ain't been oppressed, really. You've had all the same damn opportunities, regardless of what color you are.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
Very few people know my upbringing. You do. I wasn't given much, but fucking a lot of bad shit. Well, I went into the military.
Mm-hmm.
That option is there for everybody damn near. And,
yeah.
My mom was on the system growing up, all that good stuff. And I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not going to be for me. I'm doing something different. I'm going to go in the military, start my life, make my own damn mistakes.
Yeah.
If you're like a 20-year-old now bitching about being oppressed and not having opportunities, I'm sorry, I'm not buying that. You're 20 years old.
Mm-hmm. You've had a lot of opportunities.
Yeah. So you were born, what, 2000, 1999? Come on. You were born with the internet. Hell, the internet wasn't around people our age.
We didn't have that.
Is there still an issue with prejudice and racism in our country? Absolutely, yes, there is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll absolutely agree. 100% there is. It's not like it used to be, but it is still there. and it would be a very good thing if we'd eventually get rid of all of it. I don't
Hmm.
know that it'll ever be completely gone because some people are just dicks,
Mean. Yeah. Well,
you know.
I think it's people's hearts. You know, I just think the heart needs to be changed. You know,
You know, we
come from
for
a
me,
place of love, not hate.
I pretty much grew up in the military. So the military is a modge podge of every damn race that there is.
Hmm.
Um, and it's true. You look at people's rank and name tag. You forget about damn race. You forget about
Yeah.
age, all that crazy shit. You know, so I try to keep that in mind too. You
Hmm.
know, but I think as a whole, a lot of people in society, they're tired of the shit. They're not going to stand for a lot of the rioting coming to their neighborhoods. You know, so I feel sorry for the organizers or the people doing the rioting if they want to start getting into the suburbs.
Yeah.
Not just talking about our
That's,
suburbs, but the suburbs everywhere.
yeah. That's, yeah.
You know, I mean, in the cities you can kind of blend in a little bit, run a few blocks and hide.
Wear a
You know,
mask,
you get in most of the suburbs, you get in damn subdivision or something.
right? Somebody's
I
going to
mean,
clip you.
where are you gonna run? I know the woods here. You don't.
Oh,
You know.
yeah.
In everybody else's neighborhoods, it's gonna come. I think it's gonna come to an end one way or the other with the election.
Hmm. Yeah, but do you think that do you think something else will spin off after that? You know, they're not going to just accept that, you know?
Um,
And I think Hillary's actually said that there may be a delay. Well, how would you know that? You know, like, are you already anticipating the delay? You know, like, I feel like the Dems are steering towards like socialism and communist and just censoring all of us horribly.
oh well, they
It's
definitely
we're not
are.
free when they're doing that, you know?
Very true. Well, a lot of Democrats, or Bernie Sanders especially, was bad. He was straight up. What he wants is socialism.
Hmm.
Um, that's not what I want. That's not what most Americans want. A lot of people might think they want that,
And
but
why would they
here,
think that? What would be the perks to socialism?
well,
What's exciting about it?
there are none. But one big thing people talk about is health care for everybody. There's a lot of people without health insurance. I get that, um, and that sucks. If you have a job where you can't get health insurance or something like that. But you don't want government-run healthcare because
Hmm.
then the government's going to tell you what you can get treated for, this, that,
Yeah,
and the other.
control.
What if your mom is anybody out there? Your mom, say 60, 65, needs to have bypass surgery or something like that, for her heart, and the government's like, hey, you know what? Sorry, Mr. Jones or whatever, can't have the surgery. Mom's too old.
Damn.
They dictate that. Canada has government run healthcare, and sometimes people have to come to the U.S. and pay out of pocket for it because if you reach a certain, like, there's going to be criteria on who can get what and when
Hmm.
if it's being provided to you by the government.
So
I don't.
that's what Bernie's kind of pushing for then, to do that.
Well, he's a socialist. I believe he's probably flat out claimed it and said it. But that's who's the Democrat lady VP wannabe.
Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I believe she wants. She doesn't believe anybody should have health insurance on their own. It should all be provided by the government.
She also believes in late term abortion. So
Yeah,
that's murder.
but
You know,
I
that's
would.
what I'm talking about. Like, I just feel like people need to figure out their priorities, figure out what they kind of feel, and then try to figure out which party actually will, you know, honor that. And I
Well,
hate to say it, but it's going to be Trump. You know, because I no, not
well,
with everybody, because I
I mean,
can't speak for everybody.
It is right now because you're also. I mean, who are the Democrats putting up to go against them?
Joe,
Old
he
man.
he
I mean,
doesn't realize what state he's in. You know,
well,
he doesn't understand
it's
just
like It's like I said the other night to you. You thought they would have learned their lesson with Hillary. Like they really thought Hillary was going to win.
Yeah, but Hillary thought she had a foot in.
You know,
She just sat back and thought.
you know, they put the wrong person up. You know, and so they did not. Do they really think Biden is the best choice?
No, because do you think that there's going to be a switch, like a little last minute? Foo-foo?
No, there's going to be a. If Joe Biden wins, there's going to be a damn stroke
Death.
or something.
And then it'll put Kamala in there.
Yeah, then you got your first female.
What
She
is
black?
she? I don't fucking know. What are they claiming? What you claiming?
But I mean, the VP
It's
automatically
ridiculous.
becomes president.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, it seems like a strategy. You know, they always. I just think it's shitty because it's shady. You know, it's like everything. Why does everything have to be shady? Why? You know, I don't know. Why so much reflection? Why so much, you know, just hate within our streets? Why are you orchestrating hate within our streets? If there's a person that's orchestrating this, I feel like they need to have repercussions. Hey, Tracy. You know,
Well, also too,
Dale Hazel said she's Indian.
Indian. All right. Wouldn't have guessed that, but I believe you.
Oh, and then he said now all of a sudden she's black.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you're
black
claiming
Indian?
today, right? What?
Hey, is it the black Indian? I don't know. But
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. It's crazy times, and I think it is a total spiritual war. I think it's good against evil, and it's pretty crazy because it's like it literally is. You can look out into the United States and see certain little cities just in flames. There's shit going on in certain little, like Portland and California. You know, I follow a girl that talks a lot about spirituality, and outside of her window, there's smoke bellowing. And she's talking about relax. I'm like, girl,
Democratic run cities.
that's what I'm saying. Why are people not able to see what is in front of them? It's in front of you, you know, and they're still like, no, hate the orange man. I'm like, oh dear baby God.
I mean,
Just
hey,
pray.
like we said last time, he's got his flaws, yeah. But again, he's not a politician.
No, he's not.
We hired a businessman to be president this time. You know, it's like I don't know, maybe think of this, Michael Jordan. People don't, you know, one of, if not the best basketball player ever. I know it's a matter of opinion, but back in our time, right? Well, he also played Major League Baseball. He wasn't that great at it. Kind of sucked at it.
Yeah.
But he was still good enough to make the team, make the major leagues, play a couple seasons. You know, he's a basketball player. Try to do something else.
Yeah. Didn't
Trump
work.
was a businessman. Said, man, I'm tired of this shit. I'll run for president.
I'll fix it myself.
It was probably a damn joke of his buddies in a bar while they're talking about grab her by the pussy or something and be like, dude, you should run for president. I really should. Yeah, I should.
I think I'm going to do that.
It was probably something on a whim like that. Then, holy shit, look what happened.
Yep.
You know, I mean, it's people like you said are waking up.
There's so many people.
Not just to the Q stuff and everything like that, but people, everybody, will eventually just get tired of the dumb shit. Because it's not that they want to go back to normal. Well, they do. But here's what I think.
Normalcy, I guess. This is not normal. Go ahead, sorry.
Here's what I think people mean or want when they say go back to normal. Stop damn having to put a stupid mask on to go everywhere. Oh, and if you wear a mask when you're driving in your car, you're a dumb ass. If you are by yourself,
Thanks, babe.
You are by yourself in your own vehicle wearing a mask, you're dumb as shit. Okay? Yeah. You really are. And if you're on a boat, a boat in the ocean, because I've seen this, you're dumb as shit. But let me go back. I digress. But they want to going back to normal. It's like I want to go sit down in a restaurant when I want to go out to eat, and I don't want to see the restaurant half empty.
Yeah.
You know, that's bad. I mean, we have our masks off to eat.
It doesn't
Okay,
make
go back to
sense.
normal that way. One thing I do like that I hope doesn't change, I like doing a medical shit via teleconference.
Hmm.
You know, I'd much rather talk to a doctor on a video screen like we're doing right now than have to go sit in the waiting room
That's
because
true.
one, I'm going to be on time every time, and those sons of bitches don't ever see you on time unless you're the very first person at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That's when
So,
you book all your appointments. First
exactly.
one, I'm there.
So I hope that stays because I think it's a lot more efficient.
Hmm.
But, you know, you see less and less people wearing masks now. It's like, hey, no, it's really, you put your mask on, but every one of you touches a little keypad to run your debit card or your EPT card or
Hmm.
something. They ain't
That
what
was
they
my
ain't,
whole point.
you know. I mean,
Oh my God.
but
Yeah.
again, it's personal choice. It's individual rights. If you want
Yeah.
to, you absolutely should. Don't push your beliefs on me though,
Yeah. Well, and
and
even
vice
before
versa.
the pandemic, maybe somebody was sick. It wasn't uncommon to maybe see somebody in a mask, like before all this, right? They're
Hmm.
taking precautions for themselves, you know, and others, if they're contagious or whatever, then others too. But that's their priority. That's their choice to do so. But to put everybody down to mandate masks, I just don't think that needs to be done. I feel like it needs to be a choice. I mean, what about the movement My Body My Choice? Okay, well, does that apply? I feel like they create these movements with this little back agenda. Everybody, a lot of people like donate to it or put into it when it's actually going to somebody else. And then like the Me Too thing, same thing. What about where's Alyssa Milano when Joe Biden's being accused of doing this, and this, talking about Me Too? I just think it's ass backwards, and I think some of the movements are, put into place basically to generate money, and then, they create this little false narrative like, oh, it's so sad, and you need to do this, and then we all do, and it goes to somebody else. I think it's crap.
Well,
Totally think
correct me
that's
if
crap.
I'm wrong, but I think Alyssa Milano might be a Democrat, so that might be one
Oh
reason
yeah.
she's not.
Well, yeah, of course, of course. Of course. Anything, you know, anything to oppose what Trump's doing. But I have seen an influx in Trump supporters, even going down the street and that kind of thing. Like Trump flags are out, and I think that's amazing. And it's patriotism to me. I don't find it a race thing, or I don't find it, bad, and I'm graffitiing all this stuff all over the walls. It's just we're Americans, and we should be happy, and live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, all our little things.
Well, that's part of your free speech there, being able to support your political candidate. Just like, if someone in the neighborhood was a Democrat and they wanted to support Biden, fly their
That's
Biden flag.
Yeah,
I
rock
mean,
on.
I would just chuckle,
Yeah,
but I'm
and
not going
maybe
to be
take it
I'm not,
down.
no, I wouldn't.
No, we wouldn't.
We'd take a picture of it though.
Yeah, and make fun of you.
Yeah. But
Look
also,
at
like,
this shit.
has anybody seen a Biden flag? Like, I've seen
mm,
some small signs, but I haven't actually
I've
seen
seen signs.
Biden flag.
No, I've seen
Just
signs.
saying.
Tracy, you can get a Trump flag on Amazon. We have the one that says Trump 2020, no more bullshit. Mm,
That seems to be the popular one.
yeah, that's funny. But yeah,
No, it's just it comes down to individual rights.
yeah,
For me, you can simplify everything. Like if you're a Democrat, cool. If that's what you believe and support, I don't have a problem with you.
I
Personally,
do.
that
I do, because you're burning down my cities. You're stepping on my flag.
no, that's lumping all the Democrats into one pot. Can't do that.
That's right. You're right. Because at the RNC, there was one Democrat that I was like, okay, well, you're with us.
Hmm.
Okay, I understand that, but then why don't they switch? Why don't they flip? If you're not for burning down our country, why wouldn't you go? You know what? I want to move
Well,
over to the other side that maybe
because
doesn't.
possibly he or she doesn't believe in everything the Republicans stand for. That's just like I
Not
said.
burning down our cities,
It's not just that though. That's
not burning our flag. taking a knee, not going to get our soldiers. I don't know.
They're not all those people aren't just Democrats.
Well, everything that I just stated, Democrats are doing.
Well,
Soros is Antifa, BLM.
I know.
Hillary left our boys.
I'm just saying that I guarantee you, I don't know firsthand, but some dumbass people protesting, rioting, have probably been Republicans before too, or have never voted whatsoever. They're just going along for the fun, the thrill
Then
of
they're
it.
stupid.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of dumbass people. That's a bigger problem. You got Republicans, Democrats, and then you got all the uninformed dumbass people. You know, there truly does need to be a third party. But the problem is
Isn't that the liberals? Isn't that them?
It could be anything. Libertarians, something else other than just right or left, black or white. Like there's only two options. You know, there's always an independent running or a different candidate, but all they end up doing is taking a few percentages of the votes. I mean, it's just they're not there yet.
Dale Hazel said Democrats have been screwing us for 6 decades. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, under the Democratic Party. But isn't history, correct me if I'm wrong, Jason, because I'm not sure. Probably wasn't there that day. But the Republicans are the ones that wanted to make everybody equal and free and
that ended slavery,
harmonious. Yeah.
But what you run into is a part of the problem is it's a societal problem. You know, it's we typically are told what to believe by our parents and our grandparents and generation to generation. And that's where a lot of political choices end up coming from. You know, we didn't do that with our children. I didn't do that with all of my children. You know, Sydney, she's not a Republican. You know, and that's perfectly fine. I didn't want our kids just to blindly follow us and what we think.
Yeah.
We'll gladly tell them why we're Republicans or why we vote a certain way, but that's their individual right to vote their own way. I'm not gonna, just like with my mom.
Interfere with that. Yeah.
My mom, hardcore Democrat.
Yeah.
Right? That's still my mom. I'm still her kid.
Still love her.
That's just a subject that
we don't talk about. That doesn't come up at holiday gatherings.
And that's fine. I mean, your political views, someone's political views is so bottom of the list for me. It comes down to just, who and what are you as a person.
Yeah. How do you treat me?
And I think, it might be a little naive, but I think most people are that way.
Yeah.
Most people, because look at all the numerous little trips and vacations we've gone on, the people that we meet and how many we still stay in contact with. I mean, there's some people just on social media that we've never met in person, but I feel like I've known them for a long time. Hazel.
Like Hazel, yeah.
I mean, never actually met him, but it's just what kind of person are you?
Yeah.
If you vote Democrat, cool. Okay. Get another bucket of beer then.
No.
I mean.
You don't have my beer. I get it. I do get it. But I'm glad that I kind of stumbled across the QAnon movement because I feel like it just solidified things that I was already thinking. I feel like I was already kind of onto it, but then this kind of went and then added another piece. And I'm just like, oh my God, this is it. This is good. We actually have a backing that can actually get this shit done. Because I know as American, we know what's kind of going on, the things that are corrupt, that we think are bullshit or that we think need to be fixed or whatever. But to find this movement, I guess, and then see it actually play out and, I don't know. I think it's neat. It's much easier to watch for me, I guess, than Netflix or, that kind of thing. I don't get into storylines, but this one, way steep.
Yeah, I can do some. I can get into some Netflix and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
but the one thing I guess I do like about this is the Q movement and all the other movements is I feel like it's got people thinking, just thinking more.
Hmm.
Just like I said, I don't believe it all, but I'm not closed minded to where I can't think that's possible. I just don't know. You
Yeah,
know, are there some celebrities being detained? Possibly, I don't
I
know,
think so.
but it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
You know, here's another movement we all us hard ass working people need to get behind. Get rid of the damn IRS. Get
Yeah.
rid of the damn taxes. That's bullshit. Go to a flat tax,
Well,
flat retail tax.
he is. I just posted that, babe. I'll tag you. That's
What?
what, yeah, he's doing that.
Who?
Trump. I'll tag you. It's fine.
Okay.
Yes. Remember I told you because he got rid of the Vatican and he took down the English government. We have a new king now, King John III.
We don't have anything. We don't have a king. We're not
I
England.
didn't
That's
say
a
we.
separate
I
country. You
said,
just did said we have a new king.
did I? I
Yes.
didn't mean us. I said England. Did I not say that? Okay, anyway. England has a new king, King John III. So the Vatican, that's where our money was going. And then through us. And we were ended up having to pay so much out, right? Tracy says yes.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah, so
you
our
can't
money
you
now,
can't carry a gun over in England, so I don't give a
I
shit
don't
about
care
that
about
country.
England. I was saying that he has like dismantled that. So now he has control over all of that. Right?
Well, I was talking about the IRS, and there's still payroll taxes coming out of my check. So I would like the IRS to go away, so all of us keep our paychecks, keep all our payroll taxes and income taxes, and then when we go buy something at the store, hey,
It's a flat rate.
I'm fine with paying 25% tax on a TV. I don't buy a TV every 2 damn weeks.
I'll
But I'd
tag you.
but I'd much rather have all of my damn money in my paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Every working American would much rather that.
Yeah, for sure. And then
Because
even with the pharmaceutical things, it's like now the hydrochloroquine and that it just boggles my mind. I'm like, where has this been? And
uh,
then
well,
Trump,
the military issues it.
I
I
know,
mean,
and then Trump suggests it, and then of course MSM's like, no, 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 let's poo poo on that. And then not even a month later comes back and is like, oh, it's brilliant. It was brilliant a month ago when you poo pooed it.
it was brilliant when all the other countries started taking it, and it worked.
Yeah. Well, that's what I think it's backwards thinking, but I do think that a lot of people are waking up. There's a lot more people, even on my Facebook page, that I've noticed they're going through the like pissed off stage of finding out. They're like, raw. I'm like, all right, buckle up. It's gonna get worse. Just keep following what is it, qmap.pub. That's where Q posts. So follow that, and I don't know.
Vote. Make sure you vote. You have to go vote.
They can
It's
hear
right
you,
around
babe.
the
They don't
corner.
need your face all the way
That
in
is
it.
for emphasis.
Oh, for
Emphasis.
the people in the back.
Yes.
All right. All
Remember,
right.
gotta
Well,
go vote.
yes. Well, let's close out the night. If you guys want to follow me on Facebook, I do have a private page that I talk about the QAnon stuff. It's also my name, but then it has a little medallion as the profile picture. And then you can also find me on Spotify. What is it? Google Podcast and Anchor. So
Snapchat.
and Snap. Yeah, well, Snap. Yeah, that's more of the spiritual stuff. I don't talk a lot about the cute. I guess I don't know. I don't talk a lot about the. Do I? All right, I do. All right, guys. Well, that is tonight's show, and I will catch you guys on the flip side. Good night.